Sarah the Rebel, your friendly neighborhood editor-in-chief of Nerdy But Flirty, and today I'm going to talk about the God of War multiplayer beta. Yay! Yay! Sorry, it's a little loud. Anyway, so I just wanted to share a couple of my thoughts. God of War Ascension is the upcoming God of War game that will have for the first time a multiplayer component to it. It takes place, technically it's a prequel, it takes place before the rest of the games, right after he sells his soul to Ares and kills his family, but before he breaks free of all that, and so the main bad guys are going to be the Furies. This was just the multiplayer beta, it's not the single player beta, although I did get a chance to play a little bit of the single player at E3, and maybe PAX as well. Yeah, PAX as well. And I've enjoyed what I've seen of the single player so far, so I was interested to dive in to the multiplayer. You will also get a chance to play the beta if you haven't found a code somewhere. Starting January 8th, I believe, is when they will open that beta up to more people. So definitely hop on that if you're a PlayStation Plus member. It's really great for getting into all these betas. I will say kudos for this program. I was a little iffy about it, but we'll talk about that some other time. So let's talk about this beta. Oh, and one thing I do want to say, this is a beta that I'm playing. So anything I say about this game, take it with a grain of salt because everything could change before this game comes out. They could hear all sorts of stuff and just change the whole thing around. So first off, combat is very different, and the setup is pretty different as well. I was getting a lot of RPG vibes off of this. I mean, I'm checking out my little Spartan warrior's magic stats and his defense stats and equipping weapons and armor and helmets and relics, and I really like that aspect of it because I am an RPG fan. I wish my TV was bigger so I could see those numbers, but I can see when they're green they're positive and when they're red they're negative, so there's that. Note, we will eventually have a donation button so you can help Sarah get a bigger TV so she can review games properly for you. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that RPG aspect of it, and it shows in another way too. You actually get to choose which god you hold allegiance to, and that affects your powers and your bonuses and things like that. In the beta, you can only choose between Ares and Zeus, but it looks like we will also get to choose Hades or Poseidon as well. So that was a really cool way of handling the class system. I really just love how they've managed to just take these RPG elements and blend them in with the lore of the God of War series. I think they did a really good job with that. We played in the Desert of Lost Souls map, and you've actually seen pictures of it. It's with the big Cyclops. He's got chains. He's like, and you're like standing here really small. I'm not loving the 4-player against 4-player mode. Just for me personally, it's a very frustrating experience because it doesn't appear that their matchmaking system is in play with the beta. And so hopefully that will change. I'm really hoping they'll have a better matchmaking system. But right now, for the past few days, I've been thrown into fights with people at such a higher level than me that it's just been impossible to fight them. In fact, I've played in front of people, so I have witnesses. I'm not just like a terrible player. You know, I'm doing everything. I'm doing the parrying, I'm doing my special moves, and nothing's working. And sometimes 2 or 3 of my teammates will join me, and we'll all be attacking one person and be unable to kill this person. Although I did have this real sweet moment where it was at the last moment I died and I came back to help, and then my other friend died, and right as he died, I killed that fool, and it was really cool. But mostly, I've just been losing. And so that's been a very frustrating system. Like I said, hopefully that's something that changes, and you'll actually be thrown into matches with people a little closer to your level. Although I could see them not doing it. I could also see them saying, hey, this is the way you level up and you get better, as you're just thrown right in there. Which in a way makes sense, especially with the way that weapons and armor are given to you. It's all based on your combat. And so the more you fight, the more money you get, the more skills you get, you unlock different things, and that builds and builds as you go. And that makes sense. It's almost like you're an ancient gladiator, and every fight you win, you get a better sword, or you finally get some money, and you can spend it on wenches or armor. Well, you don't really get to spend it on wenches in this game. As far as I know, I really don't add that. Don't take that idea. So yeah, I think it's a valid aspect. I think it makes sense because it's rewarding players for spending more time, but it's also really, really harsh for players like me who maybe don't have the gumption to continuously lose all night. Like, I don't know if my face is still, it's not still pink, but I was like getting in a rage. It's like, really? Really? I had them like 17 times. How come all 3 of them found me? Where's my teammates? I don't know. Why didn't I grab the spear? I grabbed the spear. Why didn't it show that I grabbed the spear? Anyway, this is a lot of frustration on my part because my character is such a low level. Oh, speaking of which, you know, I've been playing for a while. My character should be higher, but, and I think this is what caused it, they recently released an update, and I think it wiped my character because I started off with a brand new character, and I didn't delete any saves or anything like that, so I'm not sure if that was on purpose or what, but suddenly my character was brand new again. Like I said, it's just the beta. These are all things that could definitely be dealt with within the actual game. It's very visceral. The graphics look great. Looks just like a God of War game. The new system is fluid. That's what they wanted, is to make this system a little more fluid than the QuickTime button events. And I appreciate that they're kind of taking this to the next level, because, you know, God of War came out, it had the QuickTime events, and then all these other games started having the QuickTime events, and I feel like now they're trying to be like, okay, this is the next big thing. We're not even going to have QuickTime events. You're just going to have to tell from the way a bad guy's moving what you're supposed to be doing, and kind of make it more, not necessarily realistic, but, you know, more intuitive, I suppose. Although it's obviously not intuitive to me, because when I was playing the single player, I was holding that elephant in a headlock for a really long time before I figured out how to break his brain open. Oh, so I almost forgot to talk about this. I actually did want to discuss one other little issue that I have with the game so far, and that is the inclusion of females. There's no choice to be a woman warrior in this game, and I thought that was really strange. I actually have an article about it from before. I'll put that link in the description. But it's really strange that you get to create this custom warrior. It's all about you, but you can't make a girl warrior. And Sony's argument about that was that they couldn't make it look right on the rig. It just looks silly to see a woman like holding a big old goat person over her head and blah blah blah. Well, I don't care. I do not care how silly she looks. I think she's gonna look like a badass holding a big old goat over her head with her muscles bulging. I'm fine with that, and I think all of the other women who want to play God of War are probably the type of women who would be fine with that. So I think it's really a loss for this game that they're not going to let you choose to be a female warrior, and it does make me lose a little interest. Those of you who've been keeping up with my blog know I have this problem where if I can't be a female or pretend that I'm a female, I'm not as interested in the game, and I've had that problem with every God of War game. Read my article from that whole saga, but basically, it does kind of bother me, but I had a very cryptic message from somebody who worked at Sony who said, don't give up hope yet. So I don't know if that means that we're going to have a really strong and interesting female character in the single player. I don't know if that means that they've been adding and adjusting and we may get to play as a female in the multiplayer. I don't know if that means there's going to be some DLC, but I don't know. It could mean any of those things. It could mean he just wanted me to stop complaining because, we won't even get into that. But basically, I am withholding that part of my judgment for now because I have been told, keep the faith. So we'll see. I'll have more on that when the game actually comes out. That's when I'll be like, meh, 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 if I need to be. Or I'll be like, oh my god, thank you, Sony, if I need to be. Because I think that's the only thing that this game could do to be even more awesome in my eyes. So thanks for listening. This has been my impressions. If you liked it, please hit like. Does that make sense? And subscribe for more videos because we're really ramping up at Nerdy But Flirty. We're starting to really use our YouTube and we're going to be posting more and more videos. So you don't want to miss a thing because we're frickin' awesome. Yes, and I said frickin'. Awesome like my shirt!